I can guarantee that every morning before I do my piece with you, 5 minutes before I go on with you, typically at 9 a.m., typically, everything will collapse right before I go on with you. The gods know this. You ever gone to a dentist or something and you had a problem, and when you show up, it's like the problem you had it went away? This is the opposite. Internet, skippings, StreamYard, downloading. It's incredible. Not that you care. But life today, my friend, is going to be more than just me talking about what's going on. And Joe Biden is going to be this wonderful thing about life and what we can learn from what is happening. And first of all, I welcome you. I thank you so much for being a part of this morning, this day. Last night, Joe Biden gave his valedictory, and it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I don't even know what it was about. I don't know who wrote it. He doesn't know who wrote it. Oligarchy, the Statue of Liberty. I don't know what the hell this guy is even talking about. But this is, and he is, and without a doubt, and this is important, he is the most corrupt president in American history. Now, let me remind you of something. And let me see if I can explain something. Some of the words that people use, lies, they lie. What is a lie? Well, he is the most corrupt because what he did was he couldn't even wait until after he was there. And the corruption, no, Barack Obama is not worse at all. Absolutely not. Barack Obama didn't take anything when he was in office. Barack Obama waited. Barack Obama may have been a lot of things, but he is not corrupt. I mean, not like this. This guy is a gangster corrupt. He's Bernie Madoff corrupt. We haven't seen anything like this. He is the worst. Warren Harding may have been bad, Teapot Dome and everything. And, he lost to China, supposedly the White House, China, and there all this stuff. But to be a gangster kind of a corrupt, no. No. Don't even put Barack Obama in that realm. To have his son be the bagman for Burisma? Do you have any idea of what this is? The bagman for Burisma? We're going to be talking about that. And what I want you to do today is we're going to go through this, and we're going to get an idea of how terrible things were. So first of all, thank you. Let me remind you that 87% of the people who watch this program are not subscribed for reasons I don't understand. In order for us to get the word out, in order for fellow conspirators to make a dent and to let the world know that we're serious, we need the numbers. And your subscription means the most to us. And we thank you for this. So thank you immensely, dear, dear friends. Let me also remind you that despite the goodness and the greatness with 4 days away until the inauguration, with 3 days away until Mrs. L's birthday, there are many, many people in horrible financial straits. Credit card defaults are through the roof. And people are looking for something to help them with. And I believe there is an answer. Listen carefully. Listen to this. New reports reveal that the average person has $8,674 in credit card debt. Plus, the total average consumer debt is a shocking $104,215 between mortgages, auto loans, student loans, credit cards, and unsecured loans. Unfortunately, without outside assistance, many will continue digging themselves deeper and deeper into the hole of debt. I've advised and counseled friends and clients for years who want to take back control of individual debt about this secret weapon that has helped so many consolidate everything owed into one affordable monthly payment. They even help negotiate a settlement agreement that will allow you to pay less than the total balance. Listen, they settled over $275 million in debt, and they've helped people become debt-free in an average of 28 months. I've had such an incredible experience referring clients and friends that I wanted to partner with them here and introduce their services to you, my loyal Lionel Nation family. If you want a helping hand to get out of debt, I absolutely, positively, and strenuously recommend booking a free consultation now by going to nodebtwithlionel.com. Look at the address. Once again, that's nodebtwithlionel.com. Use the link I've provided under the title. Listen to me. You can take control and learn how to get out of debt now. It's very easy sometimes to lose yourself in this world because you're so angry as to what happened. So angry, so you've been through so much, as I have, as have we all. Pilgrim Media says, could any of the Bidens be successfully prosecuted? Absolutely. Absolutely. But of course, it depends, though. It depends, I hope, on the particular type of pardons that are given. But remember, charge them with statewide violations. The federal, pardons will mean nothing. These omnibus kind of charges. But we'll get to that in a moment later. Because the first thing is people have to know how to compartmentalize what happened last night. What was this? Or not last night, but what you saw today. And it's very difficult for some people to grasp because it is truly hard to understand. But this farewell, this valedictory, this adios, this sayonara, whatever you want to call it. Keep in mind the great Eisenhower, so long. But this master class, and by the by, I hope you sign up for my newsletter, Lionel Nation News. Went out before. My review of yesterday's or last night's swan song as he goes off into the desert, into the sunset. Make sure you subscribe. That's all I'm saying, my friends. But it was incredible. Delusion, display of cognitive neurological decline. However you want to look at it. His parting words, his goodbye. Ostensibly, theoretically, I guess the intention was to warn the American people about the dangers of an oligarchy after he gives George Soros what award? The Medal of Freedom? What are you talking about? Oligarchy. Does he even know what that is? Who wrote this for him? I suspect that the real staff, the main folks who were there, or the ones who deal with the day-to-day stuff, have not been a part of this and have not been seen in the White House for a long time, because that was this nonsense that we saw. It's incredible. Check out this one little. Just a couple of moments. I don't even know at what stage, because it's hard to tell one from the other. But just remember, this is his goodbye. Always go on an upbeat. Thank you. It was a privilege. Give people the chance to say, you know what? He was a pretty good guy. No, because whoever wrote this for him has no interest in his legacy. They want whatever chance at the platform they have to slam Trump. Watch this nonsense.
After 50 years of public service, I give you my word. I still believe in the idea for which this nation stands.
Did you see this? Do you believe any of this? Do you believe, is there anything about this, when you watch this, when you watch his countenance, his body language, his affect, is there anything about this that makes you feel, I like this guy?
Nation where the strength of our institutions and the character of our people matter and must endure.
What does that mean? What does that even mean after what he has? Remember what he has been through. Remember, his son, the crack addict, the syphilitic man who had his teeth replaced, who had to have Secret Service agents pay for hookers, a guy who actually sold pictures and still sells these finger paintings, and is claiming now that they went up in flames and is going to be making an insurance claim. This is pure gangster. This is a crook. This isn't somebody who is just, a little corrupt. This is a crook.
Now it's your turn to stand guard. May you all be the keeper of the flame. May you keep the faith. I love America. You love it too. God bless you all. May God protect our troops. Thank you for this great honor.
Protect our troops. All right. And there's this.
I want to warn the country of some things that give me great concern. This is a dangerous concentration, and that's a dangerous concentration of power.
What? Huh?
In the hands of a very few ultra-wealthy people.
Who? Like
The
Soros?
dangerous consequences if their abuse of power is left unchecked. Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that
Like
literally
Soros.
threatens our entire democracy, our basic rights and freedoms,
Like World Economic Forum?
and a fair shot for everyone
Davos?
to get ahead.
G7?
We see the consequences all across America,
Where?
and we've seen it before. More than a century ago, but the American people stood up to the robber barons back then and busted the trusts. They didn't punish the wealthy. Just made the wealthy play by the rules everybody else had to.
This is a man, by the way, who decided that he was going to use these robber barons as a tool to stifle and to suppress your free speech. See, so remember, don't get mad at him. He's a sock puppet. He's a windsock. They put the hand up the thing. He's going like this, and he's just saying whatever he has to say because he doesn't know any better. Please don't hold him accountable. Please don't hold him accountable. He doesn't know what he's saying. He absolutely doesn't know what he's saying. A couple others. Remember this one?
I can announce a ceasefire.
Well, not so sure. See, Bibi right now, I don't know if you're following this. This may not be your bailiwick or your area of interest, but what Bibi is doing, I don't even know what he's changing. I'm not sure. What? People are, they don't know what to do. Trump has it up to here with Bibi. They don't even know what the hell this is. And most Americans, I'm sorry, couldn't care less. Not that it's not important, but they are so sick and tired of Israel, Hamas, Iran, Hezbollah. You know what? We have in 4 days our wonderful, wonderful inauguration. We don't have time for that. But listen to this poor son of a gun claim credit for this.
A hostage deal has been reached between Israel and Hamas.
Well,
More than 15 months of
look
conflict.
at blinking that rat
More
bastard.
than 15 months of terror for the hostages, their families, the Israeli people.
What
More
about
than 15 months of suffering.
What about the Palestinian people? See, he is just reading whatever they give him.
By the innocent people of Gaza. Fighting in Gaza will stop, and soon the hostages will return home to their families.
Not even, the deal wasn't even for all the hostages. It was some of the hostages, and then there were, Israel was going to turn over 1,300 prisoners. And didn't Blinken say, I'm a Zionist, or I'm an Israeli, or something? This was, you're never going to see this group again.
The deal is structured in 3 phases.
I don't really care about this. I really don't. This is more, Joe. This is the Joe.
There's been a response from the.
This is his original.
There's
This
been a
is before the
response
prompter. Yeah.
from
Go ahead.
the opposition.
The opposition.
But
Who's the opposition?
yes, I'm sorry, from Hamas.
Oh, Hamas is the
But
opposition.
it seems to be a little over the top. We're not sure where it is. There's a continuing negotiation right now.
What is that? What?
I don't want to. Well, maybe choose my words. There's some movement. There's been a response.
Okay. This
And
is.
I don't want to. I don't want to. Well, maybe choose my words.
Well, what is it?
There's some movement.
There's movement.
There's been a response
There's a response.
from
The opposition.
the.
The opposition.
There's been a
There's a
response
response
from the opposition.
Opposition, Hamas.
But
Palestinians.
yes, I'm sorry, from Hamas.
All right. Okay. All right. This is what it is, my friends. This is what it is. This is what it is. Sorry. This is the most important thing today. This is the most important thing, my friends. I got to tell you something. This is important. Let me see if I can explain this to you. I have to sorry, got to text Mrs. L. Okay. As you know, and again, believe me, for just this is my typical morning. I've got 5 different things going on. I've got you, and I love you to death. I've got texting. I've got a couple of cases I'm dealing with. I am it. Just remember something. What you are seeing, me, this is me, and Mrs. L, that's it. That is it. We are a one man, one woman. We are a duo. That is it. Okay. All right. Let me see. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Please, I ask you to forgive me. I'm going this one particular thing. Now, I want you to back up. I want to just remind you of something. Listen to me carefully. This is important. I don't want you to lose your mind over this. I don't want you to lose your mind, and I don't want you to become upset with this. I don't want you to say, hang on a minute. Let me see this. We've been through so much with our friend, Mr. Biden, and I can't believe that we're at the end of this. This is very important. But I don't want you to lose kind of control over this. The good news is that we are winning this. We are winning this absolutely, positively, hands down. Do you understand what I'm saying? Hands down. Does this make sense to you? Is this working? Hands down. We are winning this. They're desperate to try something to eke out some last moment, some gesture, something. And it's very difficult for them to do it. Extremely difficult. Exceedingly difficult for them to do it. I mean, really and truly, they just don't know what to do. They are absolutely losing their minds. And I don't want you to go crazy. I don't want you to put yourself in the position where you're kind of losing your mind, you're going crazy. I want to tell you something, which is the most important. We have been through so much, but the good news is the Democratic Party, as we know, is nothing. It's gone. It's finished. It's through. And we'll go through this in a moment. The Democratic media don't know what to do. MSNBC is falling apart. CNN. MSNBC is going to be one day it's going to be just some streaming system, some kind of like a little streaming platform. That's it. They've already distanced themselves from NBC. Just a minute, sorry. They've lost MSDNC. They've lost it. Lost it. It's done. Rachel Maddow, who for the longest time had this, I guess she was the belle of the ball, so to speak. She was this group. I don't know what the hell she is, but she was a part of this. She was untouchable. She worked one day a week. One. She was doing terrific. And then the world said to these people, it's over. And they said, Rachel, you got to come back to 5 days a week. 5 days. It's falling apart. MSDNC, which was really the charter. CNN still has a chance. There's something there. There was a little cachet. And I'll tell you what's happening with that. But MSDNC is done. And I don't know why that, because it's more than just media that's down. It's more than just that. It means that there's this rejection of this. Let me give you an idea. This was, believe it or not, this is the best person. Probably, I like this guy better than anything on Fox News. Well, I should say that because I don't really watch Fox News. I don't know what the hell Fox News is doing. But I like this fellow. It's a Scott Jennings. Watch this.
I think the way he's leaving office has been, frankly, pretty terrible. He's going to be remembered for a few things. But politically, it's mostly for when he was vice president, he and Obama sort of ushering in the Trump era initially. And then as he's leaving office as president, bringing back Trump and Trumpism stronger and more popular than ever. Today,
absolutely,
Biden has like a 61% disapproval, and Trump is over a 50% approval and more popular, and his ideology is more popular than it's ever been. If everything you say is true, the Democrats should have had no trouble getting reelected in this election, yet they were.
It's an issue of a communications failure.
I know, and for Democrats, it's always been about communication and no introspection about the policies that led to him leaving office as one of the most unpopular presidents. When I watch this tonight, I remain astonished that he, his family, and other people around him thought he could ever run for another term. I mean, there's no way he could serve another 6 months, let alone another 4 years. The fact that they pursued that farce for as long as they did, to me, remains one of the most astonishing things about this term. So
this is one of the, he is better than anything on Fox News. Anything, anybody, and well, I mean, other than the technical thing, but he is without a doubt the best. And one of the reasons why he's good is that CNN has the wherewithal to say, put him on, but go at it in a point counterpoint that's really good. I'm telling you something right now. Raul says, will Biden be invited to give speeches? What do you think? If they pay him, of course. What do you think? Do you think people are going to want to see him? Now, remember, when Biden was saying goodbye, all of a sudden his affect, his mien, his outlook, his demeanor was better. So I don't know. But I think the idea, Raul, is give speeches. We can barely hear him. Brian says, what did you think about Pam Bondi chatting with Adam Shifty Schiff? I thought she was fantastic. I thought she owned it. I thought and with Maisie, you never met with me, Maisie. I thought Pam Bondi was superb. And little point of reference here, she's a fellow Tampeña. We worked at the same office, same law school, known her for years. She She has made all of us proud, and I always thought she was good, but I never knew she was this good. Never knew. She took these people, they just left her alone. I mean, she did it. Pilgrim says the Uniparty used COVID to cover the theft of 2020. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's funny. Uniparty is sort of I think it's the wrong term used, but I see what you're saying. Yeah. Could be. Now, a couple of things here. Let me explain this story. This is what Jennings talks about. And this goes to show you how detached these people are. Listen carefully to this. And this is important. This is that angry woman, the brow lady, basically coming clean with how Joe Biden was actually removed or double-crossed.
But on Jill Biden and looking at this, she had a quote today to the Washington Post.
Now, let me explain something. This Caitlin, whatever her name is, she's better, but she is not in any way ready for prime time. And this fellow who's speaking basically spills the beans that it was Nancy Pelosi who double-crossed Biden. Listen to this.
About Nancy Pelosi's role in Biden getting out of the race. And she said, quote, "We were friends for 50 years. I'm imagining she was using her teacher's voice. She said, quote, "It was disappointing."
Teacher's voice. She is a teacher like I am a NBA center, okay? And I don't know what that means, and I'll let you figure it out.
You know that Jill Biden is very careful with how she uses her words. What did you make of that moment?
Well, it's the first I'm hearing of it, but what I make of it is that she may well have wished that Speaker Pelosi had engaged directly with them rather than orchestrating a campaign to try and get President Biden to step down from the race.
Did you hear that? Did you hear what happened? He admitted I think this is Kuhn, I'm not sure. Admitted, and the one on the right, maybe she's listening to the IFB, the brow lady. I don't think she understands what happens. This is what they have been denying for the longest time. And he just basically said this was a part of a coup. It was a palace coup, a soft coup to remove Biden.
Ultimately, it was the right thing for him to do for his candidacy, for the country, for the party. But I do think there were some hard feelings about how that happened. At the end of the day, what matters most is that today, tonight, in that speech and in our conversation, I'm reflecting on the remarkable things that President Biden got done.
Now, this is complete and total nonsense. Nonsense. Honest to God, remember, ask anybody today, any of your friends, anybody, any Democrat, name one thing that he did. Go ahead and watch their face. Say, take your time, because they have to talk about his record.
He ran on bipartisanship.
I don't know what that means. He did more to divide this country than I remember during the Democrats, when Donald Trump basically just had the unmitigated audacity to want to run for office. You couldn't go to Thanksgiving meals with your family. You had to miss weddings and birthdays, and this was a scorched earth division orchestrated by the Democratic Party, the Demon Party, the shadow government, where he was kind of like the marionette. So don't listen to this.
He spoke at his inauguration about working across the aisle.
Again, he spoke about it. I can spoke about winning the Olympics or running a marathon. I've never done that, but I can speak about it.
There were lots of folks who thought he wouldn't be able to get much done.
And they were right.
In a badly divided Congress.
Badly divided Congress that he just took credit for by bringing us together, but is badly divided. So what's it going to be there, pal? What's it going to be?
Inaugurated just 2 weeks after January 6th.
January 6th will to them be this pledge. They have all said, whatever you do, make sure that you never ever stop talking about January 6th as though this is the worst thing that ever happened to the United States. Keep talking about it in a way, in a tenor, in a style, in a manner, as though this was 9/11, Little Bighorn, Pearl Harbor, whatever. Just remember this. January 6th. And this is, and nobody still buys it.
And in the end, he signed into law bipartisan bills that did more for infrastructure.
Not one thing. Remember, the Tesla charging stations, what was it, one? Maybe? Not Tesla, but nothing. Internet. They were supposed to wire nothing. Bridges, nothing. The internet, nothing. During the, look, you know this. I don't have to tell you this.
Gun safety, investing in veterans, rebuilding manufacturing than any president in decades. It's a really strong record of accomplishment.
He's leaving office despite that with an approval rating that matches when it was at his lowest.
Now, by the way, this is where she's good, to her credit. And by the way, I keep saying by the way. It's my crutch. I say by the way. What she is reminding us is that say something that is untrue, but repeat it repeatedly. Or, for example, Joe Biden, when he was in, devoted his, just go through the list of things you wish he would do. Was one of the most decisive presidents ever to address urban terrorism and crime. He did more to protect the elderly, prescription costs, veterans, small families, education. No, he didn't. No, just say this. UFO investigation, fortifying cereal, making sure that when you bought a bag of chips or a bag of cereal, that it wasn't just a 10. Just say whatever you want and just say he did it. Family, children, faith, the military, inclusion, healthcare, whether he did it or not, just say it. Just say it. Now, watch this lady too. This was, remember, Pete Hegseth the other day. Really, I watched Pam Bondi, Pamela Joe. I never thought she'd be this great. Hegseth, who had a little, well, theoretically, some baggage, though I'm still waiting to hear it. It was more like it was more like a backpack. Listen to this.
He's a TV host. That's his main qualification.
I don't know who this woman is, but she's nice. Oh, this is a Catherine Rampell. And look at Jennings. And let me tell you something. I would rather watch this CNN show than anything on Fox. Because this at least is kind of a give and take. And he is excellent. He has brought more people to CNN than anybody on CNN. And if that makes sense to you, congratulations. You're the one.
I know in TV we sometimes get confused.
Why do you denigrate this man's service? I don't understand. 20 years,
Scott,
decorated,
okay. Scott,
Ivy Leaguer. He's a TV host. Scott. That's all he is.
This woman here, she's trying her best. But I bless her heart. I don't even know. Her whole thing is, it's my look and my countenance. She adds nothing. But she's a good host. She maintains. She's kind of like the ringleader, so to speak.
Not his main qualification.
That is his name.
He's a TV host.
See, I kind of like this. This is like, but he doesn't back up.
It is his
qualifies you.
Not every member who serves deserves to be in charge of the DOD.
She said.
Now, she's trying her best. She really doesn't know what she's doing, but she says, how do I look? I look okay? Good. That's all I care about. She says, give me the look, and you can argue about whatever the guy's name is.
His main qualification is that he's a TV host, and I'm sorry, that's just baloney.
I think that gets him 40%.
His main qualification is that he's a warfighter, and he's going to be the closest warfighter we've ever had to the enlisted people running the Pentagon. He's decorated, he's an Ivy Leaguer, and he knows what he's doing.
Just to be clear, Scott, I hear you say that because I remember Pete Hegseth said it. I think you should recall that there have been people who have run the Pentagon who have been in war.
Who?
Even if they are officers, they
Name
have
it.
been in war. Their service
Name
doesn't
it.
get to be denigrated either.
I'm not, but I think
Name
I
it.
think
Name
he's
it. Please, just say who. Name. She has no idea what she's talking about. Just say, go ahead. Name them. Who? Lloyd Austin? Maybe. Okay. Or is he? No. Yeah. Lloyd Austin. Who else? Hespeth or
close. He's closer to the average
Rumsfeld?
enlisted man who has been deployed and deployed and deployed than anybody that's been up for this job
but
in
do
forever.
not say,
Which is maybe why he defended war criminals.
Do not say that there have not.
Oh, now he's a war criminal.
Do
No,
not
he
say that there have
defended
not
them when
been
Trump
Let me
pardoned
take a
them.
shot
War criminals. You sure you want to go there with that one?
at this.
Now that was very good. I still tell you that is better than anything on Fox. I'm sorry.
In short, I think Pete Hegseth kicked their asses today. I mean, it wasn't even close. They
I
didn't
know
lay
this
a
is
glove
Hegseth, but I like
on
it.
Hegseth. No mistakes, calm, cool, collected. I mean, before the thing even started, you had this like Code Pink, protester freak show trying to disrupt the hearing. That's the Democratic base, by the way, which probably explains why the Democrats on the committee acted in such a bizarre and unprofessional way. I was appalled at some of the way these senators handle themselves and some of the lines of questioning. I mean, Tim Kaine sounded like a sex pervert in his questioning of Pete Hegseth. Blumenthal, who lied about his service in Vietnam, questioning Hegseth's qualifications. You had Gillibrand, you had Warren, you had Hirono going on unhinged rants about things. Angus King obviously doesn't understand what it's like to fight terrorism. On and on and on. Hegseth was cool in the face of this unhinged questioning. They made him look good today. It would be difficult for a Republican to vote against Hegseth after the Democrats' unseemly mudslinging today.
Let me tell you something right now. I will go on the record and tell you that I think with him on CNN, he could single-handedly save that group. I don't get that on Fox. I'm sorry, I don't get it. I don't get it on Fox. Prometheus Forever says, speaking of Bagman, did you hear recently released tapes of LBJ confessing to the JFK assignation? He used a fellow by the name of Mac Wallace. This is old for the Dispatch. Speaking with Cliff Carter on the tapes, mind blowing. No pun. You know who's been talking about Mac Wallace, Billy Saul Estes, and others forever has been Roger Stone and others. So he, by the way, did not do this. Let me just tell you something right now. Mac Wallace, who, by the way, may have been responsible, and by the way, thank you, Prometheus, who might have been responsible for the dispatch of LBJ's sister. Okay? Brian Ekdahl says, Al, are you going to radio? Are you going back to radio like you were on the Buzz in Seattle evening time? Oh, God, no. There is no radio. There is no radio. It doesn't exist. You can't say what I'm saying. You can't go 5 minutes without some commercial interruption, news, traffic, weather. Let me just say this again. It was a wonderful time and great. There is no radio. It doesn't. It's nice. It's better than nothing. But there is what you were hearing, what we're able to do. There's no comparison. Pilgrim Media says waste, fraud, and abuse. Defendants turn off key cards. Okay. Thank you for that. Interesting. I like that. Now, before we continue, I want to remind you of a couple of things. My dear friends. First and foremost, remember that right now there is the introductory deal of the 4-week emergency supply kit to prepare with Lionel.com at the great My Patriot Supply. Simply put, if you don't know this by now, I have been with them forever. I am an absolute ardent and total and complete and absolute believer in doing everything possible to make sure you are prepared for the unbelievable. That's all. And if you haven't learned one thing, it is this. Nobody is going to come to help you in the event that everything is shut down. Nobody. And I hope we got past that strike, that dock strike, which was just interrupted, just postponed. And while we're on this subject, our good friend at mypillow.com, promo code Lionel, and the great and the glorious Mike Lindell. That's all I want to say. Very simple. And thank you for that. And your support of these great people have made it possible for us to continue. Because remember, like I said, this is it. I don't have any producer. This is it. Me and you, Mrs. L, that's it. Everything you see, every sign, every thumbnail, every line, every edit, everything is just us. That's it. I mean, I'm glad, but just so that you know this, okay? Just so that you know this. Now, last night, this piece from Biden, again, was just something that was so hard to understand and to grasp. It's incredible. This is a guy who spends his time, his parting words, again, ostensibly designed or intended to warn you against the dangers of an oligarchy. Do you think for a moment he knows anything this? Do you really think so? Seriously? Do you believe this? Prometheus says, LBJ, yep, that's it. But LBJ did not do that. It wasn't LBJ. But that's okay, though. It's an interesting story, but it's not LBJ. He may have known. He may have benefited. He may have done some other stuff, but not that one. Nope. Not that one. That was a little bit different. Remember, none of this information I gave up on the JFK stuff maybe years ago, 10 years ago, because nobody said anything new for the past. I mean, we don't know anything. We just don't know anything. Nobody will tell you anything specific. There'll be a tape here, but that's okay. But it's better. Please don't ever stop talking about it. And thank you. Now, think about this. Wait a minute. Cut Up Chatter says, thank you, Lionel, my adopted uncle. Thank you as well, dear friend. Now, this is a person who for 50 years has himself lived in political and financial elitism. He is a crook, an absolute thief. Everything he said, remember, we never resolved anything regarding his files, his records. Remember all this? Biden's halting, confused, disjointed, mumbling, whispering delivery, or whatever this was, this senescent dotard, underscored a presidency that's absolutely, positively stifled, crushed by inertia, by this osseous inertia. Brian Ekdahl says, when am I going to be at the cutting room next? I am coming from Seattle to see you. As we have said, and as is listed below, February the 22nd at the cutting room. February the 22nd. Tickets are available. If you go right here, make sure if you're watching this or listening to this in your phone, underneath or in the description section, all of the products, all the links, everything you know, it's going to be a barn burner. February the 22nd. And thank you for your inquiry, kind sir. Now, my friends, you know, as I was saying back to Biden, somebody in the White House said, look, we're going to just give you this thing to say. When he said, I want to warn the country about some things that have me, give me great concern. A dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a very few ultra wealthy people. Look, God bless him. He stammered, he stumbled, and yet he seems to be completely and total. I might turn my woozy back on again. I love that damn thing. He apparently is unaware that his own group of crooks, the administration, the policy, the donors, the big shots, the alliances, the allegiances, the cabals, the covens, all contributed to the very oligarchic and shadow government tendencies that he now is railing against. I mean, seriously, it's just incredible. Pops's claim that this new group or this new concentration of wealth and power literally threatens our entire democracy, using literally. Are you serious? I mean, does he know what this is? When he and that son and that crime, anyway. And what's really problematic and galling, this is coming from a man whose family, all of them, enriched themselves openly, notoriously through these shady dealings with foreign entities, countries, oil concerns, and people who presided, I guess, over this administration that basically was involved in censorship, corruption, bureaucratic overreach, but told us, you and me, using they didn't mind those oligarchs, the Twitter, what's his face, Dorsey and those creeps, didn't mind paying off and threatening Zuckerberg, who all of a sudden is our friend. By the way, did you see where Zuckerberg and his wife are maybe on the outs? Did you see that one? Zuckerberg's got some interesting story. And don't forget, too, don't be surprised if you hear that Barack and Michelle, the only time ever that a president divorced after. Vice president is different, that Al Gore thing. Now then, this mumbling, this whispered mishmash, this slumgullion of recycled nonsense, this narrative served as a pitiful and blatant attempt to maybe salvage whatever this legacy was that was destroyed by incompetence, criminality, mismanagement, and policies not by him but by others to destroy us. It's over. But the one thing you have to understand, which is more important, the worst would have been if Gamala would have been. And his attacks. Oh, by the way, remember, Obama's going to be at the inauguration, but Michelle is, anyway. And then going after President Trump. Remember, they got along famously. And don't be surprised, believe it or not, if he doesn't pardon Trump. And don't be surprised if Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, doesn't pardon Trump. In any event, he went after us. He went after us. He didn't like us. We're the MAGA Republicans. We're supposedly January 6th seditionists, I guess. This is a guy who called Trump a genuine threat to the nation and kept calling us MAGA Republicans as enemies of democracy. It's what he called you. But he's not divisive or divisive. He's a wonderful, he brings everybody together. This man's run, his tenure, his administration will be forever defined as corrupt, criminal, divisive, divisive. And his 2022 speech, remember this? Outside Independence Hall, 2022. With this, remember the weird dystopian imagery? Remember the red and whatever that was? Remember that one? The authoritarian tone? He didn't know. They told him to do it. He'll read whatever they want. This will always go down as a reminder of this demented coot's utter disdain and hatred for dissent, for people who dare to disagree with him. And even now, as he says goodbye with Gamala and Doug and what's her name sitting around there, Jill, he couldn't resist taking credit. He claims to have brokered a ceasefire between Israel. He didn't know the first thing about it, especially with Blinken standing there. Days before Trump assumes office. And by the way, I don't even know the status of this. And frankly, the American public, we're just tired of that. Really, I mean, it shouldn't be like that way, but it is. But this was this this incredibly, this transparently false narrative, this storyline, even his own State Department contradicted him by crediting Trump's team, his own State Department. He doesn't know. He doesn't care. He's out of his mind. And Joe Biden's insistence, his absolute like this intransigent, I'm going to be doing this, on inserting himself into every success of others or everybody else, it just showed you this is the part of his arrogance. This man, thank God, is no more. Thank God he is no more. Ladies and gentlemen, at long last, our national nightmare is over. And had she taken over, had she gotten near the helm, it would have been even worse, if you can believe this. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for this. Brian Ekdahl, thank you. See you at the cutting room with the 22nd. Go right now. Tickets are available. Look at the link. Go to this little section here. We want to see you. Cut Up Chatter, thank you. Prometheus Forever, Pilgrim Media, thank you. Raul, thank you all. Don't forget, 3 days until Mrs. L's birthday. We're going to be doing a Ventilation Friday, so join us for that. We're going to be talking this. It's her birthday, and I want you to go to her website, or excuse me, her YouTube channel at Lynn's Warriors and sign up and subscribe. I want her to hit 10,000. Because she deserves it like nobody's business. And thank you for subscribing to Lionel Nation. Remain forthright. Do not lose courage. We're going to win like you can't believe. We are back, my friends. All right, have a great and glorious day. Don't ever change. I mean that sincerely. And until then, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you.